Welcome back to Naples Motorsports. I'm Chris Pruitt. Today we're going to look at a very rare car. This is a 2002 Ferrari 456M. This one here is a GTA. The GTA denotes that it's an automatic transmission. When we look at this car here, there's a lot of 456s on the market. But when you look at this one here, I want to point out the condition of this car. When you look at this front bumper, the entire front bumper is in great shape. Even the lower portion of the hood all the way up to the windshield is just in great shape. I think there's 2 stone chips on the entire front end that I can find, and that's getting down real close and really looking at it closely. The 456, this is the M, this is the later model. The later model, they actually modified the front end here. They made the hood a little smoother, got rid of some vents that were on it, and then they changed the entire front bumper, gave you some nice fog lights in here, and a nice big grille as well. Even when we go underneath the car and look way down here, there's no scrapes or anything like that underneath the front end here. None of the fiberglass is showing through the bumper. It's just a very, very clean example. Before we go too far, I did want to open the hood, show you underneath here, show you the big 5.5 liter V12 engine. They called this car the 456 because each cylinder of the engine takes up 456 cubic centimeters. So that's where that came from. You can see somebody has maintained this car very well. There's a battery tender installed here that somebody has put in to keep the battery nice and charged up. You know, something I always recommend to do on these cars, just because they're not a car that somebody drives often. So you never want to go out to your Ferrari and try and start it and be let down for the day. Also, you do have underneath here, this is the factory Ferrari color. It's what they called Verde British Racing, so it was a dark green. Looks beautiful. Dark green is actually probably one of the most desirable colors in the 456. While we're under here, I want to show you that the hood, this was actually one of the first composite fiberglass and carbon fiber style hoods that were produced. You know, you don't see it a whole lot on the earlier cars. So this is, you know, one of the first generations of the carbon fiber hood that Ferrari put on their production vehicles. As we move around to the passenger side of the vehicle here, I want to show you, just as we look down the body line, you can see when you look straight down the body line, there's no dents, there's no dings or anything like that. It's all in very nice shape. This is a 9,200 mile car, so you know, it's a very low mileage car, especially for the year. But the condition is what we're looking at. You know, when we move down to the wheels here, you'll see around the outside of the wheel, there's no curb rash or anything. The center cap's a big problem you see a lot is the center cap, the paint will peel off, or on the rim around the center cap, the paint will peel off. None of the lug nuts have any rust on them. No pitting around any of the spokes, and you can see you've got a painted black Brembo brake caliper that says Ferrari right on it. Continuing down the side, you'll see there's no big stone chips or anything behind the wheels. No road rash as you look down the rocker panel here. When you look at the window, I want to show you how the window lines up. You can see it's even and it doesn't bow out a lot. A lot of the 456s will push the window up too far. It was a common problem that you'll see a lot on a car that hasn't been maintained quite that well. And you'll actually be able to slide your fingers in to the back of the window. You get a lot of water leaking in, and you can see this one lines up very, very well. Again, looking at the wheels here, you'll see no curb rash or anything like that. All 4 tires are brand new. They're Continental tires. We just put them on the car. Just a very, very nice example. As we move to the back of the car, you'll see all of the glass on the back window here is in great shape. There's no delamination or anything like that. The molding around the glass, the paint's not flaking off, which is a very common problem to see. And then you can see here as you look at the leather across the back shelf, and the stitch line, it's all even. The leather's not pulling up. There's no leather shrinkage back here at all. Moving around to the back of the car, the rear bumper is in great shape. You can see it's never been backed into anything. There's no big scratches or anything where people have put stuff into the trunk. And you can see it's just a very, very nice example. Opening the trunk up, you've got a decent sized trunk. The trunk does go very far back on both sides. And then on this side over here, you have your factory air compressor, or it's a fancy can of Fix-A-Flat from Ferrari. And then on this side, you have your toolkit. And inside here, you can see it's complete with all the tools, your tow hook, spare fuses, and then in the bottom, it does have spare belts as well. Continuing around to the driver's side of the car, again, if you look down the body line, you'll see there's no dents or dings, no curb rash on either one of these wheels as well. And even behind the rear wheels on the bumper there, no big stone chips or any road rash like that. Now when we move to the interior, first thing you'll see is this door jamb here, where a lot of people will drag their feet getting in and out of the car. There's no scratches, there's no tears in the rubber. Just a very, very clean interior. It's just as clean as the outside. You'll notice this does have a very rare option. It has a color matched dashboard and steering wheel, which matches the outside of the car. The center console here, you have no sticky parts. The HVAC controls here are all in great shape. They're not pulling up, they're not bubbling. None of the knobs or switches up here are sticky. In the interior here, just very nice. When we flip around and start looking at the seats, you'll notice the driver's seat here. You can see just how well the condition of it is. Nobody was sliding in and out of here. And you actually have a usable back seat in the back. When you look up at the ceiling here, you can see that the headliner's not falling, the headliner's not shrinking or anything that's common to see with leather headliners. It's all in very, very nice condition. Overall, I would never call any car perfect, but I can tell you this car is as close to perfect as you're going to find. If you spin around here, I'll show you. I do have all the books. I do have the leather case, your radio code from Ferrari, both sets of keys with all 3 remotes, and even I even have the tan leather pouch for the main key fob. If you haven't been to our website, naplesmotorsports.com, I recommend you to do so. My name is Chris Pruitt. If you look around our showroom, you'll see we deal in all late model exotics, all kinds of Ferraris. We have anything from this 456 all the way up to a 458 sitting outside. I've got Lamborghinis, some Mercedes, some Porsches. Like I said, check out our website, naplesmotorsports.com. I'm Chris Pruitt. Don't hesitate to ask for me.